Greetings, it's your queen, Pimp Sun Kids, coming through right quick, right fast, maybe, with a congratulating commentary performance review for Xscape at the Soul Train 2022 Awards. So, as y'all already know by now, Xscape received the Lady of Soul Award at the Soul Train Awards this year. And so now I was expecting, like how they do at a lot of award shows, the BET Awards in particular, where they have other artists come out and honor them and sing their songs. But the Soul Train Awards, and I can't remember if it's always been like this, but at least this year they had the honorees, the people being honored performing their own songs, which is cool because we get to see that they still got it. We get to see what all that black excellence looks like. Okay? And so for this vid, I'm gonna be talking about what it looked like, what it sound like, what it feel like, what it's given. And so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into this performance review. So to introduce the ladies before they come out, we get a whole introduction speech from Jermaine Dupri, of course. And I'm gonna bring it up again. But I love the way Jermaine Dupri makes himself seen and known without being obnoxious about it and always putting himself all in the front, all in folks' face, doing the most, you know. It's very well appreciated that he don't be doing all that. But what he did do was he got up there and told a very nice story that I personally really appreciate her it reaffirms, similar to Money Long's acceptance speech for her award. It reaffirms and confirms that a lot of the greatest shit comes out of the most simple thoughts or the most simple gestures, the most simple situations, things that you are not really thinking that much of at the time, but it ends up blooming into a whole orchard of fruit. And his simple situation that bloomed in that manner was the ladies, when they were just girls at the time. They came through to sing happy birthday for him at his birthday party, and nobody really thought that it would just, turn into all this hoopla and all of that. They was just going to sing happy birthday for him. And he enjoyed it and appreciated it so much that he said, I'm going to sign y'all. But he ain't even had no label at the time. Okay? So for folks who be like, ooh, I can't do this because I ain't got that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this happen because I ain't got this. Da-da-da-da-da. That man said he was going to sign them girls and he ain't even had no label at the time. And now look. And he said soon after, he ended up accumulating his label, and they were the first artist, a group of young ladies, to be signed to his label. And child, now look at him. I'm talking about the perfect example of speaking things into existence and putting forth that action to manifest it even greater than what you probably even thought before. Loves it. So at the conclusion of his introductory speech and saying all that, they then transition into this package of people who admired and were inspired by Xscape. And in that package, we have Jermaine Dupri, Money Long, T.I., Da Brat, and of course, the ladies themselves. And Jermaine Dupri highlights how they are one of the only groups where all of the ladies were able to sing and all of the ladies are able to sing lead. Money Long reminds us that representation matters and lets us know that one of the major things that inspired her and drew her to the group was that it was one of the only groups that had majority brown-skinned women being highlighted in their talent and in their duality, in their softness and in their roughage. and we love it. And I feel like T.I.'s statement was kind of a piggyback and continuation of such a statement. The way he says that they were like, these are not his exact words, but the way he said they were like a personification of the culture, and goes on to inflict that personification of the culture onto the culture and recreate the culture all over again in itself. And I believe for the most part, everybody is blown away by their singing and their singing ability. And I don't even think it's just their singing ability per se. I think it's the quality of the uniqueness of their voices. Each one of them has a voice that stands out amongst any crowd. You can hear them on any song of any genre, and you know exactly who you are listening to because their voice is that definitive and unique, both together and individually. And so when you have four voices that are individually unique in such a way and stand out in such a way, and then you're able to bring them together and they harmonize and gel and mesh so perfectly, boy, it's got to be magic. And other things that they let us know in the package is that Just Kicking It was their first hit single, which I am not surprised about because it is a whole bop, it is a whole groove. Most everybody know Just Kicking It, okay? Every man wants a woman. Shout out to Alexander Rogers. Anywho, Jermaine was saying how he wanted the girls to come off like a female version of Jodeci. And baby, when I say that, that is a clear view, because that is exactly what they give and what they have gave, not only in the outfits that they would wear, but also the way that they sing, the musicality of it, the harmonies, the runs, the begging, as my folks would say, the way they beg on a track. And again, we are reminded by the Brat how representation matters, because she didn't say this exactly, but this is what I got from it. She expressed how, of course, they were wearing what would be seen as men's clothing, the baggy clothing, streetwear type shit, and it gives the aesthetic of, you know, she said that what she was getting, she's sure that other people was getting that also. And what I feel like she getting at is that people probably initially thought that they were a group of gay girls, and regardless of whether that's the case or not, which is pretty much it's not, but still representation matters, because I'm sure a lot of lesbians, non-binary, or just even just tomboys felt so seen seeing a group of girls, a group of ladies doing their thing, looking how they look, being who they be, and being successful for it and in it. And it's the ultimate sweet and spicy, because when they sing, they sound like complete angels. And Xscape themselves express that it even comes from a place of them wanting to go against the status quo, wanting to be the standouts. And it worked. So that's inspiring as fuck also, because so many of us be like, oh, I gotta do this like that, I gotta do this like them, because that's what made them successful, not realizing that what really made them successful is doing what they do how they do it, being unique, being different, going against the grain. So yeah, take elements from what's already been done, but stand out and embrace your own special qualities and emphasize them. Also get some insight from Xscape themselves as to the fact that they all went to, if I'm remembering this correctly, they all went to the same performing arts school. And the two Tamikas and Candy sang in church together. And Latasha would always hear them singing, and she would go in and be like, oh, y'all need another part, y'all need another harmony to get in on that. And they would let her in on that, and they be like, ooh, girl, yes, you need to sing with us in church, girl, yes. And once again, look at them now. Hey, look at them now. Oh. And the final thing of the package that I want to highlight is when T.I. speaks about hearing the pain in their voices when they're singing, and hearing the way that they are able to basically tell their stories and use their stories in the form of a vibe, in the form of lyrics, in the form of the beat, the instrumental, and the way that they present that on stage, the way they present it in videos, the way they present it, period. I wanted to highlight because I know so many of us can often get stuck in, why did this happen to me? Why is this happening to me? Why me? Why me? Why me? For all of the dark and disparaging reasons. But this is the ultimate depiction and story of why certain things happen for us, so that they can happen for other people, because we have to use our stories. It's the purpose, you know, it's happening for us to use our stories to help other people, to touch other people, to relate to other people, to uplift other people, and not only help them to know that it's possible to do what we do, but also help them discover in themselves that it's possible to do whatever it is that they want to set out and do. And as Tasha said in the closing of the package, resilience, perseverance is key. Now let's get into the performance. So first of all, I love the red light special black, white, and gold intro of it all, and how they were individually introduced with their individual poses, serving, yes. And I love the choreography. I love the energy that all of the ladies are giving. I feel like the choreography is also quite age appropriate while being versatile and modern and all that. And much like I was mentioning earlier, how Jermaine Dupri knows how to honor himself while not taking over the show all at the same time. You see how he's in the front, introducing them, hyping them up, but they are up on pedestals, and when they come down, he moves off and lets them do their thing. Perfect teamwork, just perfect, as well as the teamwork given in this performance. Candy sounded mad good, okay? It sounded like, you know, there was a bit of nervousness in the voice, so it was a little shaky with all of them at first, but it still sounded good. The only shakiness is that you could like hear, you know, the staggering and the breathing, but it was well toned, staggered breathing, okay? And also a major improvement from, I think it was a BET performance that they did, and Candy, you know what I'm saying, she wasn't sounding her best, honey, but baby was coming through with the pipes and the vocals, okay? She was giving all that needed to be gay. She said every man needs a woman, okay? She can sing, you better know it. Speaking of which, I'm loving the musical arrangement also of the live band sound. I'm not sure if there is an actual live band under the stage or back behind all of that pomp and circumstance, spectacle, background set that is built there. I'm not certain, but there is definitely a live band arrangement going on of the mix of music, and it starts off with an overplay of My Little Secret for their intro. When they were doing their individual intros and they poses and all that, they was playing My Little Secret, and they transitioned into just kicking it once they walked down the steps. And the arrangement of the instruments is quite jazzy, but it's also giving me like a Vegas show vibe also. And everybody look and sound real good. And I love how they have male backup dancers. okay? And I love that the male backup dancers are showing the entire fuck out. Now, when I did the review on their pre-show looks, I mentioned how I didn't really like that Candy's hair is super duper big like that. I don't really like how it is. I kind of like it for the stage, but being the fact of while they have on the coats, the white fur coats, it clashes with the coat, and so that makes me feel like she just looks real hot and itchy. And that's the only thing that was bothering me. And at first I was like, why are they dressed like tin men? Why are they dressed like really rich, expensive tin men? And then I realized, no, it's the Soul Train Awards. So they're dressed like conductors or like train workers or you know, whatever. Either way, it looks good. I was just wondering what the thing was at first, and so I had a couple of questions, but then I ended up answering my own question. And regardless, like I said, they look good. Okay, and look at them steps, boy. Look at how they hitting them steps on point, on cue. Okay, on cue. Everybody is uniform. They look like one stepper. Yes, hit it. Work them shoulders. Work that neck. Okay. And the hearing of them breathing as they are singing live is also refreshing, because you know that they are singing live, and you know everything that they are putting into the performance is truly authentic. And baby, it has truly been a while since I've seen such a live and energy performance, especially from some vets. Not saying that the vets don't be doing it, it's just, you know what I'm saying, sometimes the vets, they get a little out of shape, they get a little out of touch sometimes, and they come back and it just wasn't enough. But you could tell that they have prepared, practice, gave all of the devotion and dedication, and stepped out chill to give us a magnificent show. And I'm thoroughly appreciative for it. And child, this is just the beginning. That was just the first 1.5 song, you know, that was just the intro and the first number, honey. Okay, that was just the intro of my little secret into just kicking it. Okay, we got to do the next numbers. Okay, let's talk about it. But we're gonna get into the next numbers on the next video. But before I go, I got a little bit more to say on this particular part of the show that they put on. So, like I said, everybody sounded good, but y'all know that song, Just Kicking It, and My Little Secret, but they didn't actually sing My Little Secret. That was playing on the background. But Just Kick It, like I said, Candy came in and did her thing, and then Tasha did her lead part on the hook. And baby, Tasha sounds crisp. Okay, Tasha is making sure that her label is getting all of the things. She is making sure that you know that she will be back soon, solo. Okay, and I feel like Tasha's blonde hair goes better with the look for the performance. However, I have the same critique for her hair length as I did for Candy's hair length, because I feel like the length of the hair is clashing with the fur coat, the fur vest of it all, and it would have just looked better and went better had the hair been shorter. My favorite part about their looks, though, are the boots. I love those gold boots. I love how expensive they look, because gold boots, for some reason, can very easily look cheap, and their boots look expensive. Like, they look like they could actually be made of gold. Those outfits look like they could actually be made of gold. And they look like something that you would almost hate if they didn't look actually metallic, like I said, because they would borderline look like majorette outfits, which I'm kind of tired of seeing people wear on stage. They look, you know, they're cute, but Step it up. Step it up, because all of us can get a majorette outfit. But how many of us can get a sexy gold Tin Man train conductor outfit, okay? I love it. I love it. My favorite variation of their costume, I would have to say, is Candy's. It's just something about her patterns on the torso and the style of the boobage area and the way her boobage was sitting up in it that I really liked. And the way the boots went with hers also, I really liked. And it just seemed to be very well tailored on her body. Because like I said before, a lot of Candy's outfits, they tend to look like they're eating her alive at times. And it's good to see her in some things that are very well fitted. Now, with that being said, I feel like Tiny's is almost eating her alive, because Tiny is very small also, of course, Tiny. And the coat is already very big on her, and she has the all over chest to toe onesie type of bodysuit, body armor, metallic gold costume situation on. Hers is the all over thing, and so it just kind of makes her look a little hot to me. I don't like when the ladies look hot in that manner, I like Tasha's, but Tasha is giving me Tin Man majorette. Like, out of all of them, hers looks the most like Tin Man majorette, and it's probably because she has the fringe on the midsection, but I still like it. It's still dope, and I feel like she has the height for that fur coat also. And child, that's Tamika over there. Tamika, child, is very clean. It's very clean. H2T. I'm here for it. And I love her with red hair also. Now, I also love the strategy and the arrangement of the music. So, of course, for this part, like I said before many times, we had My Little Secret into Just Kick It. Now, I love that they started off with My Little Secret, because that's probably one of their most, next to Just Kicking It, it's one of their most well-known songs, and it's one of their most sampled songs, and people have sampled that literally recently on some shit. So it definitely makes sense that they would come out as that as their intro and then roll into Just Kicking It, because Just Kicking It was their first single, and like I said, their biggest single also. And child, for this first part of the medley performance, I have milked this cow dry. And I'm thoroughly appreciative for the exchange of vibes. And if you're feeling synchronized, please like, share, and subscribe so that you can be one of the first to be back through these queenly quotas for the next time. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you all light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.